Hey, Brandon here. This is channeled advice on the week ahead. This is for Monday, August 26th through Sunday, September 1st. And I have channel messages that came through ahead of time for you from my spirit guides, the angels and source. And I'll be working with them, channeling them, working with my intuition to bring through any additional information that would be for your highest good regarding all this as well here. So let's begin here. First thing that came through ahead of time, they're redirecting me to one message ahead of time, as they typically do with these, it seems. So they're showing me butterfly wings with like really unique patterns. They almost look kind of trippy. Like there's a rainbow, one looks like an oil slick. I don't do anything illicit personally, but let me see what the message is with all this here. So there are new directions you don't see coming in the months ahead, and even like as far out as like the years ahead for those of you showing up for this and watching this. So try not to get too attached to your current path or trajectory, or even to, I'm not saying you're going to break up with everyone in your life, but try not to be too attached to all the people in your life right now, or like job situations. I'm getting there are potentially a lot of like, it doesn't have to be bad, by the way, but a lot of shakeups coming in for this crowd, many in this crowd, to get you in the best directions for you. And it doesn't mean you're on the wrong path now. This might be the trajectory that spirit has you on to get you to where you're meant to go in the optimal ways. Even if it doesn't seem like a straight line to your logical mind, it could still be the best way, or even the shortest route spiritually, if that makes any sense, or energetically, or just with the things you need to learn to get somewhere, the experiences you need to have, etc., to be prepared for, I guess you could say, your path is, or that's the way I'm hearing it. So, it's not a bad thing. Just try not to get too attached. I would hold things a little bit loosely and be like, okay, well, let's see what would be for the highest good. And you may already know, like, yeah, I've been getting the message to let go of this person, or you may already know, like, something is meant to stay for a long time. And it doesn't mean like every single thing is leaving. Like that thing that you got the message is meant to stay probably will still stay, or maybe it'll transform with you, or maybe it's just perfect as it is as you go through the different, trajectories and all that. So just kind of keep that in mind. For some reason, that's a message they'd like to bring through right now. It's about like unique paths and unique trajectories spirit has for many of you. So number one here, they're redirecting me to number one here. They show me the Titanic, and don't freak out, because the message is you are not on a sinking ship. The universe is leading you to the best place. So that's a great thing to tie that message they just dropped on me here for you. Great place for that to lead. So here's what came through ahead of time. Some of you think things are sinking in your life, but they're actually going to turn around or are turning around. So keep going in the directions you are divinely guided. And sometimes people might second guess themselves when they're divinely guided to do something. However, logically, with the immediate circumstances or the immediately preceding circumstances, it doesn't seem to make much sense. Though in hindsight, if you watched everything play out, even if it's like a year later, you'd be like, oh, actually, that divine guidance made perfect sense in that scenario. I just, that person just wasn't listening. So really trust yourself, trust your gut instinct right now. Like whatever you're divinely guided to do, like go towards things, move away from things, walk away from things, whatever it is, it's leading you in the best directions, as they said here. And the summary here is that things are going to turn around for you. So number two, there's more they want me to get to for number one here. So let me see what that is. They really would like to reiterate, like really trust the ways things are panning out, the directions things are panning out in. The way they're saying it is like, hey, you might not realize how things would have gone if they'd gone a certain direction or a different way, for you, like such as in the past. Because sometimes people have this idea like, oh, if I just dated this person, it would have worked out. Everything would have been perfect for me. And, for some of you, maybe you're correct. For others, maybe that would have been one of the worst things ever that would have happened to you. Or maybe you would have moved to some area of the world and some natural disaster would have struck and then you'd be dead. And you're like, ah. So for some reason, I'm getting this like side message to bring in of like, try not to think your life is ruined because you think you missed an opportunity or you missed something in the past. Try to move forward the best you can from like right now and trust how the universe can turn things around for you. Because some of you think like, oh, you're sunk or things are stuck or you'll never be able to recover, but you totally can. So try not to count yourself out and like not try when the universe could have 5 turnarounds lined up for you next week is something I'm getting here. So hopefully that's helpful for you to hear. Anything else before we move on? So hopefully those are some not just good words of encouragement, however, just something to keep in mind right now. Number two, they showed me a butterfly. They said the collective is evolving. You're going to be divinely directed to new territory because the collective needs new things. You might have new projects from source, or you may just find yourself doing new things in life. Just FYI. So the summary is unexpected developments leading in new directions. Just go with the flow. And you know what? This really seems to link in with the first couple messages now that I'm really looking at this and reading this to you, where it's like, hey, there's turnarounds. Hey, there's new directions. Like, hey, don't get too attached to things, at the beginning. And the other thing that's popping into my head is like, hey, we're actually heading out of Mercury in retrograde this week. I believe it ends pretty soon after this video is posted, or maybe even like, I forget the exact day, but around this time period. So it kind of makes sense like, hey, things might be kind of changing or redirecting in a positive way. So try not to get too attached. And again, like as the collective evolves, sometimes the collective just needs new things and spirit's like, hey, you're perfect to fill this gap over here. Or maybe it was the plan all along, or it's like, hey, you're perfect to start this new business that people need or to fill this role for spirit. So here you go. And it's a really lucrative opportunity or something like that. So just kind of realize there are certain unexpected developments leading in new directions, and the recommendation is to go with the flow. Because again, like number one said, it's leading you to the best place, or like certain things like turnarounds are leading you to the best place. The universe is leading you to the best place. Number three here, they showed me a watch. They gave me the word time and timepiece, and they showed me a pocket watch. This is very specific, a pocket watch with like a train etched on it, which for some reason that's something that showed up, which might not be a sign for every single one of you. However, the message is time is not running out. You have time to accomplish your dreams. Keep heading towards them, but don't rush. I know sometimes like this might not, the dreams piece might not fit perfectly for every single one of you, but I feel like for all of you, it's going to fit in some type of way here where maybe you feel like, let me sit with them for a second here. Like if you feel like you're running out of time, you're not, is what I'm getting. And it can be tempting to rush things when people feel like they're running out of time. But if you just kind of relax and go with the flow, things work out perfectly, So it's kind of doing that dance where it's like, what's the best way to say it? Like, what's the optimal amount of action to take without like forcing or rushing things? And how can we listen to the universe and listen to the feedback of the universe when we take action so that we're moving in the optimal directions for us and not bending things in a way that's not for our highest good, I guess you could say. So here's the summary. You're not running out of time. Relax and move forward with grace. And I know some of you, what's the best way to say this? For those of you who are like, what is this guy talking about? I am running out of time. I would definitely, the question I'm getting to ask you is like, is that true? Like, in what ways do you think that's true? And is something else possible? So, and like some of you might even just be like 35 and you're like, oh, I'll never find love. I'm running out of time. But spirit could have something lined up for you like tomorrow or next year or something. And it's just not actually true if you zoom out and look at it from a different perspective, without the human panic or the emotional panic and stories around it, or projections on it. Number four, they showed me a train and the message is keep trucking. So just keep showing up. Don't quit this week, especially regarding like practices and self-improvement, self-development practices, or anything you're working on building like a skill. Like for some reason, learning guitar shows up. So keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up until things shift, which is maybe in a slightly different bend than what I was just talking about. So things will shift if you keep showing up for yourself in practices and things that are meant to improve your life. And the summary is don't give up, with this one. So there was this story I really was kind of feeling called to talk about where I don't think it's the perfect fit. So I'm going to sit with it for just a second here and make sure I get what's going to help you guys. What's going to be for the highest good here. Sometimes people are tempted to give up right before the breakthrough, right before they leave the plateau, right before they get the bit of information that's really going to help them. So, what I'm getting to say is don't be that guy. Be the person who is committed to what you'd like to have, as long as it's for the highest good, and maybe it's helpful to be committed to your self-improvement in some ways if that feels right to you or light to you. just like don't give up on the things that matter to you might be a way to kind of summarize it as well. Like if you keep showing up for yourself in the practices and the things you're working to develop, in the skills you're working to build, and the things you're start trying to bring in or would like to bring in for yourself, like the things that you need, the keys that you need, the shifts that you need will come eventually. And maybe there will be tweaks to your routine, for example, if it's a routine you're working with that will come in to help you get there, or maybe you're right on track and you just need to be a little bit patient with things. So for some reason, not a good week to give up on things, even if you're tempted. Number 5, they showed me an ogre and the phrase unexpected surprises, but it's positive. So there, I'm not sure why ogre is a sign for that. Maybe some of you are watching Shrek or something, or something with an anime with ogres in it or something. So there are unexpected surprises that will help you turn things around this week and in the next couple weeks. Be open to miracles, unexpected turnarounds, and positive treats from the universe that encourage you in the right direction. So there are unexpected benefits coming your way. So was the summary, which is cool. It's pretty self-explanatory. They're just unexpected surprises this week. Just receive them and celebrate them and appreciate them. And it doesn't hurt to invite in more or manifest or ask for more once they show up, of course. So, the other thing is like once you're going in the right direction, the universe is going to reward that. So if you notice yourself making certain choices, what's the best way to say this? If you notice yourself going certain directions, then the universe is like, oh yeah, let's bring them all these great things. And it really feels like a reward from the universe. I guess like pay attention to that as a sign. So number 6, they would like me to move on here. Anything else actually before we move on? I guess ogre is a sign you're moving in the right direction. Kind of a weird one, but I hope that, and it could also be a sign that shows up around the unexpected surprises, where it's like something shows up that's an unexpected surprise. Maybe someone sends you money, and then like there's a card with an ogre on it, or a Shrek card, or your kid puts on Shrek on the TV or something, and you're like, oh, cool, there it is. As a sign. So number 6, eradicate self-doubt. So how can you work through any self-doubt issues right now? Now is not a great time to pause because you think you can't do something. Keep moving forward and self-doubt will rescind. Don't stop because you are doubting yourself. I guess kind of continuing one of the earlier messages is like, don't stop right now. And if you'd like to build confidence in something, sometimes showing up and moving towards it, practicing it, and like doing the thing and showing yourself you can do it can be the way. For example, for me, with my spiritual gifts and abilities, the more I've shown up and done readings and got the feedback like, oh, this was fully accurate, and got the experience with working with my intuition and channeling gifts and abilities in my personal life for other people, for myself. And the more I see like, oh, I got this message, it was accurate, cool, that's what that's like. And the more it happens over and over and over and over again, the more you get optimally confident is my intention with your gifts and listening to your intuition and listening to your channeling gifts and abilities. So keep showing up for yourself and keep walking yourself towards some of these things until the self-doubt leaves, if you're someone who's working through self-doubt things. And like sometimes you have to show yourself, and you do that by doing the thing, or practicing it until you can do it confidently. So I hope that helped. Number 7 here, elephant and dragonfly are the signs they show me. And it was just about unexpected signs, miracles, and like just a message you are evolving rapidly and obstacles will be removed as you evolve and progress. Don't give up. For me, dragonflies, when they show up in readings like this, can symbolize evolution. Sometimes rapid shifts and changes as well. Elephant can symbolize obstacle removal is one of the things here. Kind of like Ganesha, the deity of obstacle removal, who's a good one. And yeah, just kind of a message that like as you progress, as you evolve, like obstacles are going to be removed. So don't give up hope right now if you feel like you're hitting a wall. Maybe one of the things to think about is like, okay, how can you evolve right now? Or what is this doing for you? Or how could this be raising you up right now in some way or building you up in some way? So what's the best way to say this? For some of you, if you feel stuck, look at your personal evolution and the things you can do for yourself. For others of you, for others in a different camp, that might not apply for you as much. You might just be flying free and you might just be getting more miracles and more obstacles removed here, in the months ahead here is what I'm hearing. So the summary of this is that the universe is bringing miracles your way. So there you go. Number 8 here is a reminder to be loyal to yourself, not other people. Let me explain, because I sometimes think people will just potentially take things the wrong way because I'm not saying like ditch your kids. However, here's the message here. It doesn't mean stab people in the back. It just means don't put other people before your dreams and what you'd like for your life. Don't put others before yourself. It's your life. It doesn't belong to others. And it's kind of more about people pleasing, where we're like, oh, if my dreams come true, this person will feel bad. And then da da da. Da. And you kind of keep yourself trapped in a cage that doesn't need to be there. And as I've said and brought through a lot, and I've also heard some other people talk about this, is like if you actually just allow that, whether it's a part of yourself in, or you allow yourself to accomplish that dream or actualize this thing for yourself or manifest something for yourself without issues, without downgrading it at all, that's actually going to take this person who might feel bad and be jealous, and it's going to that's their chance to look at their life if they're jealous or upset and realize like, oh, that means I'd like more in my life and I'm actually not happy where I'm at. So it could actually help get them to a better place and help them develop and grow more. And by keeping yourself in the cage and not getting to the places you'd like to go or not having your dreams come true, you're kind of keeping this person, as I've heard someone else say it, in arrested development. I think I heard Lee Harris say that somewhere. So it's actually for the best for you to have your dreams come true, as long as it's, for the highest good, of course. Uh, for this crowd listening to this, yes, it's fine if your dreams come true, is what I'm getting. Like, it's not a terrible thing. So don't hold that back from yourself. Don't hold your life being as good as it can be away from yourself for other people. It's actually not helping anyone. It's kind of hindering the world in a way if you won't allow yourself to receive and be all you can be and have what you'd like to have as your life. And you opening those possibilities for yourself actually opens it for the collective in an as above, so below way. And it opens other people to the opportunity to begin creating or generating or manifesting it or whatever for themselves as well, typically. So don't be that guy who allows your life to be held back for everyone else and their opinions and how they're going to feel. Like, be all you can be and let them deal with it. Because again, like, that holding yourself back is more people pleasy and nice, and it's not really the authentic you, is what I'd say. It's something you were probably trained into, whether by parents, religion, or something else entirely, or just people who wanted to hold you back and they were mad that you were going ahead and they were like, no, I don't want to lose you. And also, I want to be the weird thing people sometimes do. Not everyone, but people who maybe could do with some growing in those areas. So they're done. I hope that helped, resonated, whatever was for your highest good. And I will see you on another video.